What's up, you guys? So we got a quick little install day today again. We're going to be working on a couple little things, nothing too crazy. We got the Steeda clutch spring, that I believe that 35 foot-pound spring. Take out that stock one. Now I know a lot of people just pop it off, but I've heard about a couple different issues with that. One being the dead space at the top end, and the other being the more or the quicker wear and tear without it on the clutch itself. So we're gonna go ahead and install that, and then we're gonna install the Steeda hood struts as well. So, and if I we'll do that, get my tools ready, and I'll bring you guys along. Alright, you guys. So I decided to go ahead and do a voiceover over this part of my video, just because I realized it was really windy outside. So basically, what this kit consists of is it consists of a hood side bracket, a fender side bracket, and your hood shock. And it also consists of a diagram in order for you to make a hole on your battery cover. So first thing first I did is I went ahead and removed the stock hood side brackets nut in order to place the new Steeda hood side bracket on. Now basically what I did is I wrapped some electrical tape around the stock nut, just in order to keep some of, or as much as of that stock paint on that nut as I could. It worked out pretty good, so I recommend doing that. Now, I will say, right off the back, you guys, I'm gonna tell you guys, make sure you read the directions that come along with this kit. This kit elaborates very well on what it is that you need to do in order to get this installed right. So make sure you check that out before you do it. That kit will actually elaborate on where you wanna and how you want to face either bracket. So what I did next is I removed the battery cover. So first I installed the hood side bracket, removed the battery cover. Now what you see me doing here is installing the fender side bracket. Again, Steeda's directions will elaborate a lot on how to do this, but basically what you want to do is you want to insert the nut into a factory hole that's already on the fender, and then pull up on the bolt and start tightening down as you're pulled up, so that nut can grab, I guess, some sort of lip that's inside the fender, and it'll start tightening. Now for this, you do want to use Loctite, just to ensure that it's nice and tight in there. So now, as you can tell, that's what I did next. But actually, what I would recommend you guys do next is leave the battery cover on, set up your diagram, and then cut out your hole. I believe it's a 7/32 hole. Yeah, don't quote me on that. Like I said, the directions will tell you more on exactly what size hole it is and how to do it or whatnot. But anyways, so as you can see here, now I'm having a hard time setting up the diagram that I need to set up to cut out the hole, because I actually already installed the bottom bracket. So don't do that. Install the top bracket, leave your battery cover on, set up your diagram, drill your hole out, and then install your bottom bracket. That way, when you get to this point, the point that I'm at here, after you install your bottom bracket, your hole is nicely cut and perfectly set. The way I had to do is I kind of had to eyeball it, because I couldn't get the battery cover on because of that bottom bracket that I had already installed. So I eyeballed it. Luckily, everything came out good, and I was able to line everything up. Once you get that done, basically put your battery cover back on. Put all your plastic screws back in, make sure it's all nice and tight. At this point, both your your hood side bracket and your fender side bracket will both be nice and snug, tight, ready to go. And all you got to do next is basically compress the strut connected on both sides, and you're pretty much good to go, you guys. What I did learn from my experience is condensing, or actually compressing these hood shocks were kind of tough, but after just pushing down on it a couple more or a bit more, I was able to get the hang of it, and I was able to compress it far enough, just enough to pretty much connect both sides of it. Now the way they connect, it literally just pops in place. So yeah, and then after that, you guys, you kind of see me here just showing you the way it lifts or whatnot. I really like this kit. The reason why I went with Steeda, besides the fact that everything else on my car is Steeda, is because their hood side bracket is actually on the bigger side, I should say. And that's only because I noticed I watched their videos, And on their videos, they explain that they did that so the hood wouldn't bend on a smaller size bracket. So that's why they went ahead and did the whole bigger side bracket on the hood side, just to give more support to the hood itself. You'll see here, I actually close up on it and show you how big that bracket actually is. Now, so yeah, so that's kind of why I went with them over all the other brands. Again, everything else on my car is Steeda, so you know, I like to support a company and stick to that company, so that's what I went ahead and did. So here you go, I'm showing you both sides. Now on this bottom side, I do plan on maybe painting that bolt eventually, you know, if it bothers me enough, just to keep it all, I guess, stark in there and low profile. But here's, you can see a great view of the actual bracket. You see how big it is and how much support it's actually giving on the hood. Now it does come with some sort of pads on the back to keep that from scratching your hood. But that's pretty much it for this, you guys.
Alright, you guys, so here we are underneath the footwell here. I've never actually seen the spring, so this is my first time seeing it. I'll bring you guys up. There it is. Yep, that's it. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and pop that off and see if how I'm gonna get the I'm actually using my camera here. See how I'm gonna get that spring off. Okay. Yep, so all we're gonna use here is that my helicopters. Alright, so it looks like all we're gonna use here is just some pliers. Get that in there, pop that off, and replace it with the Steeda one. It's gonna be kind of interesting to see how we get the Steeda one. But you know what I did notice, you guys, the other day I was actually driving and I wanted to kind of show my friend how it was because of that spring. So I did this here. You guys, I'm gonna show you guys the I guess the kickback of that spring and why it makes it hard for some of us to get used to it right at the beginning. But check this out. As you can see, you can even hear how loud that is. That's the spring. It just, so we'll see if that still happens at the end. I mean, I don't know if that's the reason why, but we'll see. So all right, you guys, let me see if I can get under here and pop this off. It's gonna be kind of hard to show you guys on camera just because it's so small in here. So once I get it off, I'll kind of come back to you guys.
All right, you guys, back at it again with the white vans.
Just kidding. But all right, so I had to go pick up some needle nose clamp pliers to be able to get that in. Instructions basically says just grab 2 coils, pinch them down, pop it out. So we're gonna try that. I believe it says to press the clutch and get 2 coils like that, but I don't know, I have to figure it out. So all right, we'll be right back.
Alright, you guys, there it is. It's out. Now, the way I did it, I actually think I might have broken it. So, we'll see how, you know, if I can get it back in or not. But I couldn't get it with their instructions, which was that. So, I looked it up. So, Steeda's instructions were to clamp down on it and slide it out. But that was kind of hard to do, so I couldn't use that. So, I kind of looked it up, and someone... You know, people were just saying literally just pry it out. Now, what they failed to mention was that when you pry it out, I think it breaks. Now, I'm not too sure what this bracket looks like when it's up there inside, but this is what I'm looking at now. Now it looks broken here, here, and there. I believe it's broken. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the way it looks up here once it's up there, because that's the top end of the clutch spring. So this is the top. Spring goes like that, and then this is the bottom piece down there. So that's the way it sits next to your clutch. Now I don't know if this, like I said, I don't know if this up here is held just by the tension of the spring itself, and that's why it looks just rounded off like that, or if it's actually supposed to have some sort of like hanger or like hook up here that hooks this part up to the top of the clutch. So I'll show you what I mean.
This is really hard to get a good angle, guys, but alright, so this is the bottom, right? This is the bottom of it. That slides onto there, just like that. Of course, facing up. Now, like I said, I don't know if the top part of this is held in just by the pressure of the clutch, or the tension I should say. But yeah, I'm gonna try to put it back in, and hopefully it's not broken. Hopefully that's correct, that the tension of the spring is what holds it all in place. Alright, so this is the stock spring. Try to, as you can see, it's hard. This is the Steeda spring. As you can see, much easier for me. I'm compressing it with one hand. So we'll assemble this. Like I said, it'll look something like this. It'll look like that. Now, let's hope that I am right, and hopefully the tension will hold this in. If not, then I'm going to have to pick up this little bracket from Ford. Hopefully it's not too expensive. But I'll get back as soon as I try to put this on. Alright? Alright, you guys, so I just came back from a quick little test drive with the clutch spring in. It looks like it all stayed in place, so it did not fall out, so that's a good thing. But wow, you guys, it's crazy how much of a big difference it makes. I will say right off the back, that little dead space right at the top, it's still there. But once you start driving, you don't even feel it. You don't even realize it. But what you do realize is that, well, first off, the clutch does feel heavier. Not by a lot, very minimal. It feels heavier. Now with this Steeda spring, it's wow. It's you don't have to worry about that at all. You can let right out the clutch and right into gas, and it's just smooth. That's the very first thing I noticed as soon as I took it out for a drive. Is the shifts were just it was every shift was smooth. I didn't get no little kickback, no little, the clutch felt very linear, very smooth, and same way all the way through. As to where the stock spring would cause it to feel so at first it would feel heavy, but as soon as it got to the engagement point, I want to say, it would feel very quick, and then on its way back out it'd feel light, and then instantly boom, heavy. It just hit you, and that's what would make it pop. So for $10, I mean, Jesus, you definitely can't go wrong, you guys. I would say do it. Now, I know the alternative is just to pop out the stock spring and leave it out completely, but the way I see it and the way I think is there's a spring there for a reason. Whatever the reason may be, whether it's to aid the clutch or wear and tear on the clutch, whatever it may be, there's a spring there. So why not, why remove it, and, why not just replace it with something that's a little less tougher to compress than the stock, but still have something there. That was my mindset behind it. I don't want to remove something that Ford included in the car and leave it completely, empty space there. So it's a great alternative to get rid of that. It's kind of hard to really show you the feel of something, so for $10, you can't go wrong. On the bright side, if for whatever reason you don't like it, you can always compress the stock spring. It's going to be a little harder, but you can compress it and put it back in place.